come on live. It says it is, but it's not doing anything. So technology. So I wanted to just come over here, you guys, and just welcome you all. I'm excited to be here and to be sharing with you guys chapter 11 and 12, and on the girl guy wash your face, and it's on the lie is other people's kids are so much cleaner, better, more organized, and more polite. And you guys, honestly, she just talks about, you know, embracing the chaos in this chapter. And what I'm also realizing, if you guys haven't realized it yet, what she struggled with was what everybody else thought about how she did her life. And I hope you guys have caught the theme of this book, is that what her life got better when she quit worrying about what everybody else thought about her life. But I feel like she has a little bit of a chip on her shoulder because she's kind of like, I don't care anymore. I'm going to do my life the way. And you know what? You don't even have to worry about that. Like, what I want you guys to do is not worry about having to be upset at anybody for what you think they're thinking or what they say or whatever, because it doesn't matter. That's what I want you guys to know. And that's what she's saying. But it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. What matters is what you all want for your life. And it goes back to the CCPP, like communicating with the people that you love, creating your dream life and what you want that to be like in your head first, plan and strategize how you're going to make that happen, and then partner together to make it happen. And guess what? The world gets to be okay with it. But we don't even have to worry about it because the world is doing what they're going to do with their life too. You will all have and enjoy your life more whenever you do that. So I just feel like that's kind of where I keep hearing her and the theme and stuff. And it's kind of like she's fighting back. But it's like, we don't even have to fight. Don't waste energy on that. Just figure out what you want to do, make a plan on how you're going to do it, and go do it. That's it. That's all you have to worry about, because that's enough to worry about. This chapter talks about the chaos, embracing the chaos, and not worrying about, you know, what your kids are doing or whatever, and how they're not as good as everybody else, you guys. And at the same time, I just wrote some notes on here, like take some pressure off of yourself about what your kids are or are not. I know people are sending me a message. I don't know what people are or are not doing in their life. But don't lower your standard. Like, hold your kids. Like, my kids were held to a high standard. You guys are like my kids, so you're held to a high standard. And it's yes, we embrace the chaos, but we're not going to be perfect. We're going to be real. We're going to be bad before we're good, but we're going to be working to get better always. We're never going to let good enough be good enough. And because good enough is what robs you of the great and the things that you could have and do in your life if you want to achieve more in your life. She talks about how, you know, it's rough season raising a preschooler. And I'm just laughing. I'm like, this poor girl hasn't even gotten to teenage years. So, I mean, I'm sure she's going to write more books when she gets to be, you know, her kids get to be teenagers. But you guys, preschool is nothing. I mean, seriously, I wanted to laugh. I'm like, really? You're stressing over preschool? Just wait. So you know what, though? You need to get good at this stage. What I love and what I believe in my heart is that the reason God gave us babies and they sleep 22 out of 24 hours a day, that's an infant and newborn, is that you have to work to get used to them over being in your life, because now this little human got dumped into your life and you have to figure out, how am I going to do life with this human? And then they become, you know, 1-year-old, 2-year-old, and you get to gradually grow there. Don't worry about things until you get there. Do the season you're in well. And when you do preschool well, guess what? Teenager life will go better for you. If you're not doing preschool well, teenager life is not going to go well for you either. You have to graduate there and grow there over the years, just like we do in Arbonne, you guys. If you don't do well here in your business and start doing life better here because you're learning better and you're doing better because you're learning better, life isn't going to be better for you down here if we don't start getting good at it here. You can't jump. You can't go from one to the other. So I love that We can't promote to area until we're ready to be area. We can't promote to region until we're ready to be region. We can't promote to nation until we're ready to be nation, because we need to grow there. And just like you need to grow as a parent, your kids have to grow in their life, and it's going to be chaotic through all of it because life happens. I will tell you guys though, I think we create a lot of chaos because we try to cram so much into our life, and we talk about this all the time, and so does she. We create the chaos, you guys. And then we complain about it. So what I want you guys to realize here is it's nobody's fault if your life is crazy. If your life is crazy beyond the point where you're not able to enjoy your blessings in your life, then what you need to do is step back and go, what extra do I have in my life that I need to get rid of so that I can enjoy what is most important for my life? You need to clean up and get rid of anything that's robbing time away from your priorities. And I know people like to say, well, one of the biggest hesitations we have in Arbonne is I don't have time. You guys, Arbonne is what's going to give you time, but you have to put it in as a priority. And that's where it's like, I see, more than not, people end up being where they set Arbonne down because their life is so chaotic that they can't add Arbonne to it. Big mistake. Big mistake. You're setting down the one thing that could change your life and make life less chaotic for you and everybody around you, and give you a reason and an ability to make a difference for other people. But I will tell you, we create the chaos. So what I want you to do is, hopefully through this book, is look at your life and go, what is it that I'm doing that is not contributing to my priorities? And where do I need to let go? What do I need to let go of? And that's where you need to not worry about what the world thinks about you because you're not in this club or the leader of this group or whatever. If it's not taking care of your priorities and it's creating chaos, even if it's a good thing, it's not the right thing at the right time. And I love that. Like there are a lot of good things out there that we do, you guys, but if it's not the right thing at the right time, it's not a good thing. It can be the right thing at the wrong time in your family's life because you haven't figured out how to just do you and preschoolers and running your home and building a business. You haven't learned how to do that well, and it's all chaotic. Even if you're the leader of a church group or whatever, Shelley Nelson had to do this. You have to set that aside for a season because it's not the right season in your life to be able to come over to take care of it and not have chaos in your life over here. So you guys, that's where you need to be mature enough that you are okay saying, I can't do it all. And you don't care what the rest of the world thinks, but you are taking care of what you and your family have communicated about and created the dream for, and you're making the plan and working the plan and partnering in that plan to make it happen. That's all you have to do. And that is as simple as I can make life for you, because honestly, that's as simple as it is. Anything else that's adding to you beyond that is probably your doing. And I will tell you the one thing I do hate seeing, and I see it a lot, and I'm going to probably throat punch some people here, is people will have a lot, going on in their life. And then you have your sweet little preschoolers. And you guys have heard all my ugly. I'm not saying I don't do it and didn't do it. I will tell you, I got stressed and I yelled at my kids, but I never let my kids act like they were my problem. Well, I guess I couldn't say never. Maybe I have. But what I want you guys to do is don't complain about your kids. Get rid of things that you can get rid of, but don't complain about your kids in front of your kids. I've seen women do that, and I don't see men do it so much, but I've seen women do it. And it's like, you want these kids and you love these kids, but then you talk to your best friend while your kids are running around beside you and you act like they don't have ears and can't hear you. And you talk about how they're stressing you out today. And you guys, those are the things that sink into a heart and make an impression for a lifetime. And then they start trying to figure out, what do I have to do to please you? And you guys, just love them and discipline them, but don't complain about them, because if you're complaining about them, it's not their fault, it's your fault. Me complaining about my kids not getting ready in time was mostly my fault because I had too much going on in my life. But I will tell you, whenever you are complaining about your kids, it's probably because you have other things added to your life, and you probably do, that you're doing too much right now for your kid, for your life, and your kids are the ones that are being blamed for it. It's you. Clean up what you can't handle so that you don't have to sit around and feel exasperated by your kids because you can't keep up with your house, your kids, and everything else at the same time you're doing whatever you're doing for other people that doesn't matter at the end of the day. People don't matter at the end of the day. Your kids do. So just be careful that you're not sitting there being one of those parents that complain about your kids in front of your kids, because it's not their fault. It's you needing to clean up your life and get it where you can put stuff in here. Same for Arbonne, you guys. If you sit around with your friends and family and you complain about how busy you are and sorry, everybody. If you complain about how busy you are and if you complain about how busy you are and how stressed out you are, and then you want people to join your Arbonne business, you don't make it look attractive. So why would they want to join your business? Like, you guys, take care of what needs to be cared for, and then be excited about it. Be excited so that people go, man, I want to be in that world. I want to be in that Arbonne world, because, man, even though their life is busy, they're so happy all the time. They're so excited about what's going on in their life. And that's what I want. I want that for my life, because my life is just chaotic and out of control, and they're doing things the way I'm telling you shouldn't do things. But if you're doing that with your business, it's the same as like making people feel bad about Arbonne, just like your kids feel bad about themselves, because you're sitting right there and you're complaining about it. So she says, you can fill in the blank with your own personal brand of chaos, because we all have it. She said, every single one of us is living in chaos, and we handle it in one of three ways. We ignore it, but she says eventually the stress catches up with you. So don't ignore it, you guys. Truly, I hope you're looking at your life going, what is it I need to get rid of so that I don't get shingles or Bell's palsy or anything else that this girl and other people she talked about suffered with. Number two, she says you battle it. She says you might clean the kitchen. She says that life is crazy and stressful, and sometimes it gets worse before it gets better. Losing the battle against regular everyday life makes us feel impotent and angry, and most of us, and it makes us feel out of control. And it's like you just try to do everything all the time. And again, you guys, you can't battle it. Just clean it up and get it manageable, and be okay with the little, so that then you can increase your capacity for more, or adjust more things. Like Arbonne can help you get rid of some of the things that take your time. A full-time job, working 50, 60 hours a week is what robbed me of the time that I needed to be able to do life the way I wanted my life to, my dream life to look. But I had to go buy it back, you guys. There's a price to be paid for doing life the way we've done it up until now. And I had to pay my price to buy back my life that I had sold out to money and things and responsibility and debt that I was responsible for. And I had to go clean that up so that I could have more time. Luckily, what Arbonne did is, instead of, like some people, you may need to clean up your debt. But what I love about Arbonne is you can clean up your debt and buy time at the same time. Where most people, you guys, people end up going, okay, I'm going to like just pay off all these bills. And you learn how to live with less and spend less over here, which is fine, but to pay off these bills over here. Do you know what you do in Arbonne? You work, you pay off these bills over here because you've got extra money coming in over here. So you have like a double pot to work with, and get out of debt at the same time you're making money and buying time. It's like a win-win with Arbonne. You don't have to do one and then be able to get to another. You do both at the same time if you take care of this vehicle that will take care of you when you do. That's the power of Arbonne. It just works exponentially faster in helping you get to the dream life that you want to have. If you will discipline yourself, get your head on straight, and quit worrying about what other people think, and just do life the way you have dreamed about your life doing. And she said the other way we do it is we drown in it. And she says, you know, we slip into wallowing, complaining, and we let the chaos win. And you guys, this happens a lot. Like, people just start being a victim in their life. And here's another throat punch for you. It's nobody's fault but yours. I don't care. I mean, yes, I know there are sometimes things happen. Like, there's things that happen in life that you did not create. But you know what? Whatever it is, it's still your life. And you still have to figure out how to deal with it. And trying to, use, like she says, substance abuse or even food, you guys, eating and wallowing in food and getting unhealthy is not going to fix your life. That's what I love about Arbonne, is the challenge and the fail-proof plan that we have to at least start taking control of that part of your life, so that you can feel better about the other areas of your life, because you feel better about you and you feel stronger physically as well as emotionally to fight back the chaotic life that you're in and that you probably created. Because if you're unhealthy in your physical health, you're probably unhealthy in other areas of your life, you guys. That's integrity. You are who you are, in and out. And if, like I tell people all the time, messy home, messy life. If you're unhealthy in one area of your life, you're unhealthy and out of control in other areas of your life. And so we have to figure out how to start taking baby steps in control, or do it exponentially fast, because Arbonne helps you get control over your life exponentially faster than doing this part of your life first, then this part. Just like the debt, you can get healthy with our healthy living program. You can make money at the same time. You can, be buying back time. Do you see the power of this business? But you can't be unhealthy in an area and expect to be the best in every other area of your life. You guys, get healthy. It's the easiest, most simple thing you can do. Hit the 30-day healthy living plan right now and just start living that clean eating program that starts Monday morning with us, and commit to getting your health self physically and emotionally healthier, so that you can start cleaning up the chaotic life and quit drowning in it if you feel like you're drowning in it. Because I'm telling you, you will feel empowered when you know, I've taken control now. I'm no longer being controlled by life. I am taking control of my life. And I'm so excited for you guys. Everything we do in Arbonne is way bigger than selling a product, you guys. It's helping people get healthy. And then she talks about in every area of your life. But I do love where she talked about how she says, when you think you'll only find yourself angry, frustrated, trying to be in control of everything, and stressed. Also, when you assume you're in total control and you don't stop to take time to seek out a relationship with God, or whatever your higher power is, for me, it's God, you use alternative means to try to manufacture some peace. And you guys, I want to just tell you, before Arbonne, what I love is, if your life is feeling out of control, be grateful. I will tell you, I believe with all my heart, because I experienced it, it's exactly where God wants you to be. Whether you believe in a God or another higher power, I know my God wanted me to feel so out of control in my life that I needed him. It almost makes me cry. I was really good at managing my life without Arbonne. When I added Arbonne to it, you guys, there's not a day in my life that I would want to do life without him, because it's more than I could handle on my own. I believe with all my heart, it's the number one reason why God brought me to Arbonne, is he knew I needed to know I needed him. I needed him in my life to do it the way that it was meant to be, and not my way. And I don't know what it is for you guys, but quit trying to rely on your own power and your own strength to do this, because the minute you surrender to a higher power, you will feel a load lifted off of you. But at the same time, don't try to do this without it, because you will sink, and you will never ever be able to do Arbonne without a higher power that's giving you the strength and the support that you need for your life. So she says there's another option. She said, one people rarely cling to, embrace the madness. Interestingly enough, the people I know who do this the best are the ones whose lives are the most chaotic of all. And she goes, I believe it's because they learned a long time ago that there is beauty in the chaos, as well as freedom in not trying to fight against the tide. So clean it up, you guys, but then embrace the chaos. People look at our life and they know our life is chaotic, and in such a beautiful way. If you could have seen us in this house yesterday, Today we have a 1-year-old birthday party, and we were all team family last night. I mean, Alexa was over here, Cody and Lindsay were here, everybody was here. We were team familying it to get ready because my house has been painted and torn up and everything. And we've done like calls. I mean, I've had to punt a few calls, but I mean, we've all made it work because it's chaos. And the people that embrace the chaos, like I could have been telling everybody, no, no, no this week. But I'm like, you know what? Yes, we'll make it happen. I don't know how we'll make it happen, but we'll make it happen. And she says, those are the people that get the most done. And I know Jackie Mammon and Linda Parker, they always say, I'm like a human Roomba or Roomba, whatever you call that vacuum. It's just like, vroom, vroom, goes around. And we get more done. Jackie Mammon always says, you get more done in a day than I get done in a week. You guys, it's because we embrace the chaos. It's like we're healthy, so we can keep up faster pace physically, but we embrace the chaos and we're grateful for the crazy in our life, and we don't try to stop it. We embrace it, but we also do it around our priorities. I've been asked a lot of things to do, and I've been saying, people say, will you come here? Will you do this? Will you do that? You know what? I measure it against my priorities. And as busy as I am, I say no to some things, you guys, because I know if it's not taking care of my priorities, and you guys are one of my priorities, but if it's not, then I can't do it because I can't do it all. Even though it's chaotic and I embrace my chaos and I know that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me today, I've learned that, and not try to do it on my own. I also know when to say no to the right things. Even though it's a right thing, if it's a wrong time for my life and it doesn't fall in line with my priorities, I say no so that I'm not then becoming a screaming bitch to the people I care about the most. Let's just say what it is, you guys. And complaining about the ones that really have nothing to do with it because it was me who created it. But she says, start by giving yourself grace. So don't feel bad. Give yourself grace. I mean, I've had to give myself grace every day. But you know what? If you learn how to give yourself grace, you guys, you'll start giving other people more grace. If you can't give yourself grace, you won't give other people grace. And you will never build a successful people business if you don't. So start loving yourself well enough to go, I'm not able to do it all anymore, and it's okay. And I'm going to start doing it this way. And I'm going to start learning how to be a better version of me, even if it is that I just start the 30 Days of Healthy Living program on Monday and get better starting Monday. You guys, just give yourself grace so you can learn how to give other people grace. And she says she encouraged herself also to look for the fruits of the Spirit. For those of you who didn't grow up singing them in your kids' worship music tape before breakfast, she said the fruits of the Spirit are love, joy, patience, peace, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. You guys, if you just wrote that, no matter what your faith is, those are all amazing things that will give you fruit in your life. They will give you blessings in your life when you live by the fruits of the Spirit. When you stay in control because you've cleaned out the chaos that doesn't matter anymore. When you love even when people are unlovable. When your preschoolers are unlovable, yes, it's frustrating, but you love them anyway. And you guys, you know what I used to tell myself? And it's so true. The days that I would get crazy, busy, and stressed out as a mom, I would say, you know what? They tell me someday I'm going to miss this. And I would just be grateful for those crazy little kids that were making me busy and making me feel stressed out. And I would just remind myself, someday I'll miss this. You know, I mean, Blake arguing with me until I just wanted to just stop. And Lindsay would have to come up to me and say, Mom, don't grow weary. Don't grow weary. And that's my life verse, you guys. Galatians 6:9. Do not grow weary in doing good, for at the right time you will reap a harvest. And I stayed on him, and I have a harvest of memories and love and joy because I did. But you guys, just know someday, as chaotic as it feels, you're going to miss it whenever your house is so quiet you can hear a pin drop. And it goes fast. I think Brooks turned 1 yesterday. And I know that year, that first year of life, just is like a blur. You go from having this baby that sleeps 22 hours a day to a kid that's, you know, running and playing and interacting and stuff. It goes so fast. Don't let other stuff in your life come and steal away the beauty of the chaos. There's beauty in the chaos. And if you can just get rid of things that are not in your priority list and that don't matter, you will be able to enjoy it. And the same with Arbonne, you guys. Don't wish it away. Enjoy it, because the chaos is the journey in Arbonne is the good part, you guys. The hard things you learn in Arbonne, the things that's challenging you to do, the things that you're growing in, that you're stepping out of your comfort zone in to expand the walls of your comfort zone, that's going to be your favorite part of your journey and your story down the road. I will tell you, the hard parts in our family were whenever she talks about laughing at things. You may not feel like laughing about your journey on the hard days. But you guys, if you keep going down the road, someday you're going to look back and you're going to go, you know what? Those are the parts you remember. You don't remember the days where everything was clicking and working so well that you didn't even have to think about it because your business was in momentum. You're going to embrace and be most grateful and remember in detail the hard times that taught you the most. That's the same with your kids, your family. Like I'm thinking of a situation where we went through a hard time with Lindsay, and it was kind of funny because when she was skipping school and she shouldn't have been, she got nervous because I called her because we found out about it. And she was trying to hurry and get back to school because she told me that she was in the bathroom, and that's why her coach had no idea where she was. And I said, well, you better get your butt out of that bathroom right now and hand your phone to your coach and have her call me from your phone. Well, she was on the other side of town, and she ate the rear end of a bumper of a Mini Cooper BMW. And everybody was like, oh my gosh, that's so funny, the story. And it was funny, you guys, but not in that moment. It wasn't funny in that moment. I was like, someday we will sit around the Thanksgiving table and we will laugh about this, but I'm not there yet. So if you're not there yet, it's okay. If you're feeling yucky in life about your family, your kids, your business, whatever, it's okay to not laugh about it right now. But don't sit down and wallow in it. Get up and do something about it, because I promise you, when you look down the road, and you can even probably reflect on your life right now and remember some hard times that today you laugh about. Today you embrace, as well as that is the thing that taught us the most. I will tell you, those moments of our family fighting hard to get Lindsay back on the right track are what we say made us who we are as a family today. Like, it was so stinking hard in that moment. But today it's where we go. And Lindsay will tell you, if you guys hadn't done what you did, I would not have come back to the path that I know I needed to for my life. And now we're grateful for those times. So if your kids are going through something hard and they're still home with you, as hard as it is and it stinks, it's an affordable time. Shelly Nelson told me that whenever I called her crying about all of this, and she goes, Carlita, be grateful. It's an affordable mistake because she's still there for you to help guide her through it. I will cherish those words. They comfort my heart as I speak right now. Just the reassurance of this community of people that I knew had gone down the road before me and were reassuring me, it's going to be okay. Just like your leaders tell you, if you just don't quit, if you just do this. You know why we know that, you guys? Because we've been down the road before you. We know what it's like to build a business, and it's not supposed to be easy because it's stretching you, it's growing you, and it's making you into somebody you will never be if you don't do Arbonne. So that is what I'm grateful for, but I needed the community to be able to do it. And that's what she said. She needed things that helped her were friends like her, friends in those moments. But I will tell you guys, I would tell you, go to somebody a little bit further down the road than you. Don't go in the moment, because they're still figuring it out with you. And they may take you down some rabbit trails you don't want to go. Go to somebody who's gone down the road before you and enjoy time with your friends. Great, if they're right where you are. But take advice from people that are before you. Have the glass of wine with your friends, okay? So the other one, 2 priorities is just knowing what your priorities are, making sure you get those taken care of. And then 3, she says boxed wine, but she said really just do whatever you need to give yourself a place to be unfrazzled. I know, like Terry Fisher, she loves to work out. If that girl didn't work out, the reason she has a hard rock body is she has a stressed out life. And she knows to work out as her therapy, and that's, I mean, we all do, but now, it doesn't have to be boxed wine. It can be whatever you and do. If you want to curl up and read a book, read a book. If you want to go take a bath, take a bath. If you want to go work out, work out. Whatever you want to do to unwind and find your happy place is fine. Now, chapter 12, the lie, I need to make myself smaller. You guys, she talks about her dad. And this one, she talks about how, he called her little girl. And she does it in such a negative way, because he didn't have a good role model. And I mean, she loves him and she respects him, but she talks about how that made her and affected her life. And you guys, I want to tell you something. I look at this, just like I've said many times in this call before, no parent works to do anything harmful for their child. Her dad was doing the best he could to help her be able to handle life, because he knew life was not easy. You guys, when they say, which one did you crave the love from the most? I asked my kids that question. Guess what? They said you. I could sit here and go, oh my gosh, I was such a horrible parent because I made them crave my love. But that's not what they're saying. I didn't ask Blake, because he'd probably say, neither one. I was loved and I didn't care what you guys thought. But Lindsay, she was like, no, I craved your love. But you know what? She did it in a healthy way. She goes, not because I felt like I wasn't good enough, but you held me to a higher standard. You were the one that helped me be what I am. And it's just like I always say, if you look back on your life and you ask yourself, which parent is it that's most responsible? I promise you, as much as Rachel's saying, this is what my dad did, this is how he made me feel, this is all that, I also promise you, and I think she even kind of said it in this chapter, he's the reason she does what she does today. She says, maybe because I'm a workaholic and I would do too much, but it's because of that. They're the ones that are helping you be more of who you were meant to be than the one who's saying, you're great. You're great. The worst leaders in Arbonne, you guys, are the ones when you're struggling in your business and they just want you to feel like, we love you. We love you. We love you guys. But guess what? You need to clean up this mess over here, because you're never going to build a business being this. Those are the parents that you want. Those are the leaders that you want. You don't want a leader that's sitting there going, you're great. I do what you're doing. You're great. And you're stuck in your business and you're sinking in a sand, what is it? Quicksand. And you have a leader going, you're great, because they don't want you to have to crave their love. Guess what? I love you enough to tell you what you need to hear. And I loved my kids enough to tell them what they needed to hear, because guess what? The world is not going to tell them they're great whenever they're not doing what they need to do. The world is not going to give them any grace. They're going to have to find their way. And that's what I love about this dad, her dad. You would say, little girl, and it's not, and she says, and not as an endearment. Little girl, you have no clue what you're talking about. Little girl, the real world's going to eat you alive. Little girl, you'd better grow up quick. She's complaining, you guys. You know what he was saying? Little girl, you better figure it out, because life does not work like this outside these 4 walls. And if it doesn't work like this outside these 4 walls, then it can't work like this in these 4 walls, because when you get out of these 4 walls, you will be eaten alive. Little girl, you better hear my words. And you guys, there is nothing wrong with doing that. What you need to do in your head is go, how did I receive it? Did I think of it as them not loving me? Or did I look at it and go, they loved me so much, he was preparing me for life? Take it for what it really is, because I promise you, that's what her dad was doing. He was preparing her for real life. And he was saying, little girl, you can't do this and survive out there in that world. You can right now, because you're my little girl. And that, if she spun it around and looked at it from that direction, you're my little girl right now. But out there, that world will eat you alive. And I need you to be this and do this and be able to think like this. And whatever it is that you think is important for your kids to be able to move out there in this world and survive. So just look at it the right way, you guys. take it for what it is, because every parent out there is doing their best to try to help you embrace who you are. And then she just talks about, you guys, not worrying about what the world thinks. Do what you want to do. She talks about how she worried about, you know, working moms get judged by non-working moms. Non-working moms get judged by working moms. You guys, CCPP, if it's good for you, it gets to be good for the world. If you think you're good, the world has to take your opinion because you're the expert on you. Nobody is going to do it better or think anything that you don't let them think, and they can't make you think anything that you aren't thinking yourself. So quit blaming everybody else and just know you are doing what you need to do. And it doesn't matter to anybody else. It gets to be okay with everybody else. So, let me see. I don't know. She says, you know, nobody ever asks the dads if they feel guilty. They want their kids to grow up and chase their dreams. You guys, I want all of you to chase your dreams. If you want to do Arbonne, I want you to do Arbonne, and I'm going to help you do Arbonne. If you don't want to do Arbonne, I'm okay with you not doing Arbonne. I'm going to ask you why, because I may think you're crazy, because I know what you want for your life in other areas, and I know you need a vehicle to get there, and that's what this is. But if you decide you want to walk away and not do this, that's fine. If there's something we can do to help you, you've got us, and you've got the best team on your side. So she says things that helped her at the end of this is a willingness to offend. And I say it's never okay to be rude. That's a rule in our house. But you guys, it's okay to be you and to not worry about being a people pleaser, because you will make yourself nuts, because you can't please anybody ever, really. I work to please one, and it's my Heavenly Father, and that's it. I love my husband. I love my kids. I love my best friend. I don't care what they think about me. I didn't care what my kids thought about me whenever I disciplined them. I knew I was called to be their parent, and I had a responsibility to my Heavenly Father, and this is what I knew I needed to do to parent them, and that got to be okay with them, because I don't answer to them. I know in my life, I'm going to answer to one. And whenever I get there, I want to hear, well done, thy good and faithful servant. You raised those kids well. Well done, thy good and faithful servant. You were a great wife to Philip, a great partner. Well done, thy good and faithful servant. You took the gifts that I gave you and you led other people to it, you guys, to the gifts that they were given, to be able to go do and be all that they were meant and created to be. Well done. That's all I care to live. And you guys, find the one for you. I don't know what it is for you, but find one, because you can't please everyone. And you will go crazy, and you need to be willing to offend even your husband, your kids, and everybody else, because you're doing what you know you need to do because it's the right thing for you. The second thing is, she says a bold statement, and she says, I get to decide who I am. We choose everything. She chose to have a tattoo. I wouldn't do that, but it's fine. I don't care if you have a tattoo. It's fine with me, but you get to choose, and it gets to be okay with everybody, you guys. And 3, she says an encounter with a guru. And this is where she said she goes to areas and whatever you want to work on, start consuming content that sparks to that specific area or speaks to that specific area. And you guys, I gravitate to John Maxwell books. And I was like, I want to be a leader. I want to learn how to be a better leader and an equipper and an empowerer. And that's where I gravitate. And so I spend time in that area of my life. But it could be gardening for you. It could be photography for you. Whatever it is, I believe it's what your heart's been wired to do and called to do. And so what I want you to know is just learn more about it, embrace it, but then use it in whatever way you can to bless other people with it. I know my dad, he had not 2 pennies to rub together his whole life, you guys. He's still alive. But I mean, when he could physically, he grew gardens that were acres big because he could go and work those gardens and then go deliver fresh vegetables that were healthy to people. And that was how he loved people. That was a great, job, because that's how his heart was wired. He loved doing that. I know Dennis, my brother-in-law, he loves photography, and he loves taking wildlife photography, but he takes great pictures of our family, and those are, in his family, those are gifts. You can have gifts in other areas. What you need is time to go use them. And that's what Arbonne will give you. It's just a vehicle for you to go and do more of what you are desiring to learn and know more about. And then when you start chasing those little dreams, they'll get bigger, you guys. And it'll be like Dr. Tom Barrett says, you know, in the beginning, you're just doing Arbonne to take care of the practical dreams. And then you'll start to realize, now I have a little wiggle room and I can have some fun dreams. And then you'll start to realize you can even have meaningful and significant dreams. But you're going to have to get better, little girl, little guys, along the way to be able to do it. You're going to have to stretch. You're going to have to grow. You're going to have to quit blaming the world and anything and anyone else for where you are and what your life is doing. You guys, I had a sweet message from one of the girls on this call, and they were saying, you know what? I didn't have great parents, but I also realized, you shocked me into realizing I've been using that as an excuse instead of just getting up and doing what I know I can do. And that's all I'm challenging you to do. Ultimately, it's what she's challenging you to do. But I'm just challenging you guys, quit making excuses, because you are fully able and capable to do more than you ever guessed, imagined, or could request in your wildest dreams the minute you walk into who you were meant to be and created to be, and use the gifts and the talents that you all have and been given, and they're all different, but to be able to go out there and make a difference with them. Focus on what you have instead of what you don't have, and clean up what doesn't matter so you can get rid of the stress long enough to see it and be grateful for it. So remember, be grateful for the hard, you guys, because life is hard, but we're growing. And that's the hard part, is the stretching and the growing. It's just like a hard workout. You're sore after it happens, but it's
birthday for Brooks today. Okay.
How you get stronger.
Is one.
Hey, I'm going to get off of here, and thank you guys for listening and spending time with me. This is one of my favorite things. I love speaking live, at the same time challenging you to realize life isn't going to get easier. We got to get better, you guys. So love you all. Thank you for getting on here with me and letting me speak my heart to you.
Thanks, Carlita.
You're welcome.